Ba-da-ba-ba. Team no.
Thanks.
That's the theme song. Ba-da-ba-ba. Team no. Previously. After arriving in the town of Cole, you spent a little bit of downtime finding a place and then eventually began an investigation into two purported Red Band who murdered a family in cold blood. But before you were able to conclude this investigation, you were approached by a soul strider who had very intimate knowledge of your magical armaments, and in quick succession found out at least 3 of you can do magic, with confirmation of Amari and Henry. Though a strong assumption that at least a couple more of you can. So, with a very curt, if nothing else, offer that you will help in your time. And all he wanted was information, a place, anything about the Scions who were your scapegoat for where you got these magical items that you've had. You were almost forced to agree to work with him. He promised you money, if that is what you required, and writs for your magical capabilities. Of course, this drove a wedge in the party, with Amari, Simon, Walker, and Henry, some with reservations, some not, wanting to help, wanting to find the Scions, and wanting to contact this Soul Strider, Sirius Lokar, and give away the location. You guys, after considerable deliberation amongst yourselves, after everyone else split up, Rom bringing these 4 together, decided that the best chance you had was to, well, sneak out in the night, help these people so that they don't end up put to death, put to the Red Band, or maybe something worse. As the night grows long, and you begin to enact this plan of subterfuge and conscientious decision-making, I ask unto you all, Evian, Lilianna, Owen, and Rom, in this half session, what are you guys doing?
Just for confirmation, do we know? I'm only aware of 2 people who were explicitly named as mages in his presence.
Well, it was Amari.
Yes,
and...
but he did ask Amari. Amari did confirm that other people can do magic. He did not.
It
care
was
who.
Amari and Henry who were confirmed, and Simon's a bit obvious.
So the third is like
he knows at least one other person, but based on like the people in this group, you know he's convinced that there's more magic here than meets the eye.
Got it. Owen, after we kind of decide that we're going to leave, Owen nods to everybody, and if we're not in his room, he returns to his room and begins writing.
All right.
How long are we leaving in the middle of the night? Is that the plan?
I mean, you don't have much of a choice if you're going to get past Walker. Or was that in character?
I think the plan was to leave as soon as they all crashed.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's only about, what, a day's travel? Or...
I mean, you can't say for sure, but...
It took us a day to get from where we were ambushed on the road to the Griffin's nest. So a little bit more than a day's travel.
So if we hold a fast pace, we should be okay.
If you're
then?
willing to, like, yeah, you could get to where the ambush, where the ambush was in about a day.
Okay. That might be the move.
But yeah, that's going to be, you're going to be booking it, and you're going to be doing more than you're going to be pushing those extra hours. You're going to be clocking that travel overtime.
Yeah.
In the wee hours of the morning, poking your head down, you see Walker passed out at the bar. Everyone else in their rooms apparently asleep. And it is now quiet. Middle of the night, they're cleaning up the bar. You guys head out?
As we make our way outside, Owen, he leaves. I thought I knew the answer to this question before we began, but now I'm not so sure. He leaves a letter for Henry and Walker. And with Henry's, he slips it under his door. With Walker, he kind of tucks it. I don't know. Is he sleeping? Like he's passed out.
He's
right?
passed out at the bar. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's Walker. Like when this dude goes down, he goes down.
So Owen will kind of tuck the letter under his hand or arm or something like that, and he leaves a small coin purse next to Walker before he leaves.
Not a problem.
I'm not doing anything special, so.
Rom kind of hesitates, like she's thinking about doing something, but then she just sort of shakes her head and gets ready to go with everyone else.
And so, you guys head out? Lilianna,
About what
anything?
time is it?
It's
when we
like probably like 3 in the morning-ish. Like it's, you could see Walker with a long line of cheap beer.
Well, guess we're just gonna head out then.
Yeah, I think that's the move. Let's do it.
And so you guys head out. You get out into the streets of Cole. And, where are you going?
Back the way we came.
Yeah. Back south, baby.
we must remember that it could be suspicious leaving in the dead of night. So let's try and not be confrontational with the guards at the gate.
What are we gonna say if they talk to us?
Owen shrugs. Just wanted to get an early start.
All right.
If we have to, perhaps we slip him a few coins.
I'll do
Could
the
always-
talking if it comes to that.
Could always pretend we want to get and start on hunting the griffin.
Well,
I
the older
think
blades
that's
have
enough.
already taken that job.
They've already left, haven't they?
Aye.
Head to the edge of town, to the gate. There is one guard on this side. He quickly opens the door, doesn't really say anything. See the two on the outside kind of move away from you a bit and let you out. One of them you recognize as the one that met you here when you first arrived yesterday.
Owen nods to the guards as we pass.
I nod back.
Same.
Early morning, eh? Just kind of nod out and let you go.
Yep. And off we go.
No bribery involved.
You guys have gotten out. You were able to get like half of a night's rest, so you get the benefits of a short rest. But I'm not gonna make you roll for exhaustion.
We probably could have, like, slept in shifts to make sure we didn't miss our moment.
But the end result is being able to get out with no immediate problem. Who is going to be keeping watch?
Well, we are trying to move at a fast pace, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owen
guess-
will take the lead and
I'll take rear.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I would not be super useful keeping watch, so I'll be in the middle.
Right, so Lilianna and Rom in the middle.
And for moving fast, is that disadvantage?
Yes, you're both... Well, that and it's also the middle of the night. But yes, both of you perception checks at
We
disadvantage.
hold control for disadvantage?
Yes.
There wasn't much rolling last session, so...
I guess I am the only one who can see in the dark now, though.
I love it. And you still were like, we'll be fine. You guys had the first hour. It's quiet. Second hour. Not quite light yet, but you know you're getting there. First light. You see the Holden Blades at that camp where you stayed just a night ago. You see one of them, the woman with the large boar, just kind of watching you guys as you pass. They don't look like they're in horrible shape, but out of the 6 or so mercenaries or other blades that they had with them, you count 2 as you pass by. And you note that they have no corpse, and they have no ballista with them.
Oh no.
Well,
Good.
I don't think we have the time to deal with these people, so just give
I had
them
it-
like a
The fuckers had it
sympathetic
coming.
sympathetic
They
look
tried to
and
kill our best friend. Fuck off.
carry on.
Don't feel bad.
The woman kind of just looks at you. Early morning, yeah?
I
Getting a head start.
She just kind of nods. See the Griffin heading north, did you?
No, we're just traveling.
headed south.
But you didn't see it heading north.
No.
We haven't seen it at all.
Damn. Slippery bastard, that one.
Didn't see it go by coal.
Guy just shakes her head a bit. Damn. Damn. Thank you, though. You guys head on?
Well,
Yeah.
Right. You continue to travel. Another hour goes by. See nothing. You get into the morning hours as the sun begins to rise. Nothing. You begin to travel through the day. You are traveling until you reach where the camp you were a couple days ago where you got attacked?
Yeah, I think that's the plan unless anyone has a better idea.
Nope.
Yep, that was about what I thought.
You reach the camp. It is a day. If there's anything you all want to talk about during your travels, you can, but nothing of import is noticed. A couple of travelers on horseback, probably a mailman or some sort, heading from Tybuck Rest to Pole, but other than that, quiet.
They're heading north, all
Yes.
these travelers?
Yeah, opposite you. Later in the day, you do see two people on horseback that are heading south. Not at an incredibly fast pace, but at like a quick canter.
I think at that, Owen is concentrating on the road and keeping up the pace, but when he hears hoofbeats behind us, he definitely stops and turns just to see who it is.
The long cloaks, they're kind of joking with each other a bit, but the horses are at a quick trot at this point. They kind of nod at you. You don't recognize them. They look like Lenorian, both women.
Owen nods as they pass.
As they pass, they say something. One says to the other, and they both begin laughing as they head towards the horizon quicker than you.
Can we hear what they say?
Give me another perception check.
Regular?
Yeah.
Oof.
You don't make it out? They disappear. After maybe 20 or 30 minutes, you've completely lost sight of them. You are now on your own once more on the road. It is nearly sundown. And finally, as you arrive back at, you can see, like, you begin to, like, notice the familiarities of where you were. You finally arrive back there. It is sundown. It is not completely, like, dark, but it is sundown when you finally reach the camp where you were.
Do we recall the direction that the Scions went? when
They
were
fled.
released?
They fled east.
Then I think probably the way we should go.
I can't speak English. Did we have any idea where their camp might be?
Nope.
Nope.
We
I
do
didn't
know-
think so.
The Antellier Guard out of Tybuck Rest told us that they operate in the triangle that is formed between Moskin Cole and Tybuck Rest.
Which is conveniently west. So it adds up.
Or east, you mean?
That's the one, yep.
I didn't want to correct him.
I was sitting here thinking like, wait a second.
I love it because it's not going to be on the recording, but he emphasized himself with the mouse when he said that. He was like, and it's conveniently west.
It's my mouse.
Oh,
I'm running off 2
Is
hours
it
of sleep,
that-
okay? me some slack.
that was a satisfyingly sobering piece of, non-offensive humor to enjoy.
Is it too dark to pick up the trail, then?
You may be able to. I mean, it's, like I said, it's sunset. It's a question of whether or not you want to keep going, because past this, like, you're going to be getting into exhaustion if you want to keep going. Like, you've been on the road for probably 12 hours, with maybe a small
And-
break or two.
It took us how long to get here from here to Cole?
Initially,
Yeah. like
probably
the
at
way-
a normal pace, like 14 or 16.
Okay, so we could sleep.
How fast? Like, I mean, it's the
Well, we
next
got,
night
like,
already.
Yeah, you guys have been on the road for about 12 hours. You left at like 4 in the morning or something like that. 3, 4 in the morning. It's now like 6 at night. Like, you did about 12 hours of travel with a couple hours of rest in between. And you've made it back to... Yeah.
Oh,
I guess.
we left like 5 hours before they would have even woken up. Maybe
Yeah.
6 or 7 if they sleep in.
Yeah.
And then they have to travel presumably 16 hours. So we could take a full long rest and they wouldn't have even caught up yet.
I'm just nervous. I guess.
well-
Would they travel through the night to try and find us?
They might. I didn't
But-
say in my letters what we were going to do, but they're not stupid.
But even if they do catch up to us, they will be just as tired as we are now.
What are we gonna do if they do catch up to us?
I don't
Burn
want to
that
think about
bridge when
it.
we get to it.
All right.
And who
Worry
knows?
about it if it happens then, I guess.
If we light the fire here, maybe the Scions will find us.
This is a good point.
I'll get it started. And Owen gathers some firewood and lights a campfire in the same place that we had it last time we camped here.
You can probably break up much of that wagon that's all busted up for the fire if you want.
Sure.
It looks like after you guys left, they tried to take a little bit of stuff from it. But other than that, this thing looks untouched.
Is there anything in it?
Nothing of value. There's some broken tools, a couple of crates that are empty. You find 3 separate water skins that have been abandoned, and upon closer inspection, you find out all of them have various damage and leak.
Okay.
Did you want me to keep going?
No.
Okay. Alright. So, you guys... Are you keeping watches for the night?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
I'll take
Yes.
first.
Alright, first watch. Perception check, please.
I'll do the one when it's darkest, I guess. So one of the middle ones?
So
Well, when you
third
guys are
watch.
knocking out, the first one's gonna be the only one that's not at night for how early you guys are going to bed.
Okay.
Keep an eye out, Evian. Quiet. Nothing happening.
Nothing.
2 hours or so go by. It is now just about pitch black. Nothing. See nothing. There's not even a moon anymore.
I will wake up Lilianna for next watch.
Okay.
Lilianna? Perception check, please.
Ugh.
Sit, watch the fire. Stare into it a bit. They're around you. Your eyes peeled. There's nothing. Rom or Owen?
She'll do Rom next.
Right?
Right.
Rom, though you can see in the dark... I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm biting my tongue. Though you can see in the dark, you see precious little, you hear precious little. Instead, just letting your mind get filled with the what-ifs and this strange situation you found yourself. And being lost in your own mind for probably longer than you would have liked. You kind of like, almost like shake yourself out of a daze, and some amount of time, presumably a couple hours, still pitch black out. Time kind of loses meaning as you keep watch. Owen?
Yep.
Yes, King.
Owen, you watch, you keep your eyes peeled. Look down the path in either direction, you look to the east. No one approaching in any direction. Quiet, you are. It's like 4 in the morning. Maybe 5:30 when you finally finish your last watch, and with your watch complete, the night seemed to go by with nothing of note happening. We begin waking people up. The day.
Owen does not wake anyone up until he has done 2 things. Firstly, he puts he puts the kettle on. Secondly, he kind of he goes off a little, or you know what? He should do that after he wakes everyone up. He'll kind of gently shake. Go around the circle and shake everyone awake. And once he does that, he'll kind of go off by himself a little bit. Not out of sight or anything, but a little ways off the road into the woods. And he'll kneel with his back to the road and put his charm, untie it from his wrist and kind of prop it against like a stone or a stump or something like that in front of him. And he will pray. That means I'm changing my spell list, buddy.
Right? Pray to this faith in this power. Feel, I don't know that I would say a renewed sense of vigor or anything like that, but with these people and this noble goal you have in mind, there's a sense of vague calm, I suppose. Giving you a chance to focus and figure out the abilities you might need for the coming day.
Owen finds that feeling very encouraging.
While awakened to tea. What flavor is it, Owen?
Oh, you know what flavor it is.
You only have one!
You all enjoy a breakfast punctuated once more by mint-flavored tea.
Oh boy.
The smell is strong and, as usual, wafts through the air, awakening you without him even requiring it.
And as people are waking up, Owen will return from his moments of solitude. And you've never seen him do this before, but he does. It looks weird. He kind of closes his eyes at the edge of the camp. He has retied his charm to his wrist, and he puts his right arm kind of out in front of him, fingers extended, charm dangling from his wrist. And he closes his eyes, and he begins murmuring. A few minutes go by, and he opens his eyes, but they're glazed. And he begins walking a circuit around the camp. And for mechanical purposes, Owen is ritual casting Detect Magic.
Is there anything you are particularly looking for right now, or
Just
seeing if there's any magical artifacts or effects?
yeah, it's more Owen doesn't know how magical surveillance would work, but he knows that he could, if it was there, his faith would show it to him. So that's what he's looking for.
You detect no magic. None coming from you. Any of your compatriots. None around you.
So the lead blanket thing is working?
Yeah? Yeah?
Owen finishes his ritual, and he returns to the group. I tried to see if we were being watched, but either I can't see it, or it's not there.
I would think if none of us can see it, it probably isn't there.
One would hope.
Maybe I'm just being optimistic for once.
That's the spirit. Let's see if we can pick up that trail.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, on the hunt for a trail?
Yep.
Make an investigation check to search the camp, its outskirts, to see if you can pick up something that may turn into a trail.
Can I
Anyone?
assist?
Would it be, if I'm looking for tracks, could I use survival? Or do
Survival's
I
for
have to find...
following them. You need to find evidence.
Okay. I have to find the tracks before I can follow the tracks.
How many of us
if
can
we're all
make this check?
If you guys aren't doing anything else, you've eaten your meager breakfast and enjoyed your mint tea, I would allow you all to make investigation checks. You are of one mind and one goal right now, so...
Here goes nothing. Dog shit.
Wow!
Fuck.
Oh,
I mean, our average is like, okay.
it was!
Oh.
It was
The average
okay.
is still above 10.
Lilianna's just like
It's-
picking up rocks and putting them back down.
I
Our
mean...
average is just over 10.
your average is rounds to 10.
10.5, literally.
Yeah. I mean, it's 10 and a quarter if you're going mathematically.
Alright.
Yeah, that is...
Dang it, Lily.
This is not in her wheelhouse.
I mean, you could have just not.
How does
Right,
Lilianna's searching negatively impact us?
The distraction of her picking up rocks and just dropping them and things, and kind of like... essentially things that you would think, like, maybe that could have been something, a knocked over rock, being able to see if something moved in a certain direction and maybe kicked it, you lose. And then you kind of have to double check it. But, after maybe 20-25 minutes of searching for, like, genuine, like, something that will genuinely point you into a confirmed direction, Rom, you head a little bit further out east, a bit north and more east, and you find up against a small tree, a bit of dried blood.
Here, look. There's a little bit of blood.
Is this by chance the tree that Lilianna smashed someone's face into?
No, this
Oh,
is further away
that one
from the
was-
camp.
That was
in
on the other side of the little...
I didn't smash it into a tree. I smashed it into the ground.
Oh, that makes it much better. My apologies.
So she did smash him out of the tree.
You got it all mixed up in my head.
It was a confusing fight.
We'll all go over and and you've seen this scene a billion times. They probably after you guys kind of told him to fuck off and then you fucked off, they probably were redressing wounds or something, and they had someone who was injured sitting up against this tree.
Makes sense.
The good part is it gives you a confirmed direction that they initially went. The bad part being if they properly redressed them, which, knowing that there was a Son's Chosen who has presumably taught at least some of them basic medical things, it does mean that following blood would be very hard because there probably wouldn't be much.
I mean, I'm sure if we have this general location, we can find maybe some footprints.
There
From
was
there-
also, 10 of them. I feel like you'd have to be a really good woodsman to conceal that many people's tracing.
But from there, you do have a starting point for... Like, it's very obvious that they were weighted around here for a little while, at least. You can see evidence of, like, multiple sets of boots. You can see where somebody sat on the grass and a bunch of it just broke. Things like that.
Damn, they thick.
So, give me a survival check. Anyone who is now looking for... You have a place to go from.
Easy.
I probably shouldn't.
I think
Lilianna's
those two will do
still-
just fine.
Yeah.
With your combined tracking powers of Owen kind of pointing it out and being like, alright, the big thing is... Owen, these people, again, presumably a trained Son's Chosen, knows how to cover his tracks. Very well. Unfortunately, people who are injured very badly do not. So, while it is very obvious he did his best to cover his tracks, you find occasionally just, like, steps of grass that are far too broken where someone stepped heavily, giving you a general direction of not completely due east, but very due east. A bit north. But, like, if we're talking compass-wise, like... maybe 40 degrees. North is 0.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, not 40. 85 degrees. I forgot that there were 360 degrees in a circle. I thought there
I was
were
like, I'm pretty
180.
sure that's like
Well,
more
90
north
is a
than
right
east.
angle.
Yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
yes, I know. Thank you. Yeah, no, it would be like 85 degrees. It was they were bearing when they moved.
This way,
Guys.
lads.
You guys begin following it. Owen, you are following the tracks. Not be keeping an eye out as well.
That's fine. I mean, at this point, we basically want to be found, so...
Yeah. But other things. Is Evian tracking, I assume, too? Or?
You can help. It will speed things along. But it will mean one of the others would have to keep watch if they wanted to.
Yeah, they can both keep watch. I'm sure between the two of them, they won't roll poorly 3 times in a row.
Stop.
Alright, and Rob, are you also keeping watch?
See,
Rob.
tell you.
The
Yeah,
law of
if I
averages.
can do it sometimes.
Got
The
this.
law of
The girl got
averages
it.
prevails. So,
As it legally has to.
as you get into this very strange, bizarro world where Rom and Lilianna are keeping watch rather than Owen or Evian, who are 2 of the primary eyes during your travels.
And we're the ones following the footprints.
You begin to head in the direction of it. It gets more scarce over the course of the day. Probably a few hours in, it's nearly noon when it gets to the point where, like, you're doing a bit of guesswork on exact direction because it's no longer a continuous. It's once in a while you'll find broken branches from a tree or broken twigs or an upturned rock or something. But more often than not, what you're tracking is thickets of grass that have been broken in the wrong way, showing that they're still moving in this direction. But obviously, as they continued on, they got a little bit better or more efficient, and you're literally going between like 50 and 100 feet without an obvious place to go. Outside of that general 85-ish, sometimes 90, bearing direction. You follow it well. How late are you guys willing to follow it?
I think until we find them.
Or they find us.
Or they find us.
Because we're not being quiet about any of this, you know?
No, we're not trying to be stealthy.
I mean, is Owen in his armor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we got that good kitchen sink going on.
Oops, yep. I'm accidentally banging all of the materials in my cooking.
Yeah. Oops, his shield just keeps clanging against his chainmail because he needs both hands to track.
Oh, no.
Owen's doing his best impression of a kitchen right now. Kitchen at rush hour.
Ah, but if only I had the pipes.
Oh. It is nearly sunset. You have seen Rom, you and Lilianna do a couple of times spot minor to moderate size game, deer, a couple of rabbits. You see a couple of young rabbits kind of run and dive into the grass and kind of disappear into it. As you kind of turn, the thicket kind of falls off, and you can see it's probably a rabbit hole they dove into. A couple of small deer. One of them kind of looks up and then just darts away as they see you coming. Specifically looking at Owen, of course. Who is, in an attempt to be loud, being, you know...
Very loud.
Yeah, probably the first genuinely loud thing human-made most of these things have heard in their life. They have no real interest. You eventually come to more hilly terrain as you're getting closer to the mountains, north of Moskin, and you hear this almost scratching sound, which quickly stops. I'm sorry, I missed a detail. About maybe 15 minutes before that, Owen, you in particular would have noticed this. There was damage to some of the trees you saw. They were, like, very badly, like, the bark was scratched up on.
As if there's a bear?
That would be a very, very good guess, yes.
You know what? Owen has charmed a griffin in the recent past. I don't think he's really that worried about a bear. He does point it out to everybody, so nobody's surprised, but he is not worried.
I'm whole ass about to punch a bear.
Well, if you don't think it's dangerous...
And then it is about 20 minutes after that you begin to hear a scratching sound further into the thicket of trees that you're now reaching north of Moskin. Normally known, though this part less so, it is still known as the Felrow West Forest that you are now beginning to reach into. And you kind of look and you two are passive enough to know that you could see like the silhouettes of a bear, Evian and Owen, as you'd look up, and with those perception checks, Lilianna, you and Rob would notice it as well. You kind of look up and you can see maybe 100 feet off to the right, slightly bearing. There is a bear currently.
Bearing.
Shut up.
It is black. It's very large, but not the largest bear some of you have maybe ever seen if you've seen bears. Still imposingly large, probably 8 or 9 feet. Currently on its hind legs, it's currently scratching its back on the tree.
I feel that. Has it noticed us? I assume with
Doesn't
Owen's...
seem like it, or it doesn't care.
We can just go around.
Yeah, maybe we give this lad a nice wide berth.
Okay.
Or we
Can
can
I,
befriend it and name it Fluffy.
I mean, I'd be down for friending.
No, no.
Rom just like gives you two like a "Are you fucking kidding me?" look.
Do you not understand sarcasm? Is that
I was just playing along.
I was looking at the Rom.
Oh,
Let's just go around the bear, okay?
Yeah, that was the idea. What do you think I actually wanted?
Let's go ahead and do it then. Just
I
shake it around
assumed you were doing this as we were arguing.
I can take, like, I don't know, a sun heading or something, Ben? Is that a thing I can take? Like, look at where we are and where the sun is, and then, like, when we go around, put the sun in the same spot? That's a thing I can do, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So making sure not to get off course.
Yeah.
You have to, like, again, you are at sunset now and you're getting into trees, so it's a bit hard to do, but you're a survivalist enough to understand how to keep roughly on course based on these settings. Circling around, I would like the two of you leading. I will let two of you lead this circle around with stealth checks.
Oh no.
So not Owen.
Owen, I would like a nature check to see how well you can do that to keep on where you are.
try.
Decent.
Well, we found out what this area's big weakness is.
I have +1.
I got a +2.
Alright, me and Nicole.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah!
Yay!
You guys take a wide, like, multi-100-foot berth around this bear. It either doesn't care or doesn't notice you. And then over the course of a couple of moments, Owen, you kind of try and get back to the trail. Give me a survival check with advantage to find the trail again.
Advantage is alt-click?
Yes. Oof. Jesus! That was bad time to roll bad.
Oh, you know, it's dark. I can't see nothing.
You find the trail. It is not barren, but unretroactively intended. Not barren, but again, you are now going... It takes you maybe another 20, 30 minutes to get back onto the trail because you did move in such a way and you weren't sure how far it was going to be. You only had the rough bearing as estimated as it was. But you do eventually get back onto this this path that you were on. And you kind of start following. You get about another half hour into the Belro West Forest when you come across a very small... How would I describe it? It looks vaguely like a grass hut. It looks like camouflage. It's not incredibly well done, but if you weren't looking for something strange, you probably wouldn't notice it. Up against one of the taller hills here.
How big is it?
Maybe 40, 50 feet in diameter. It's mostly round, though it does go up against a tree. A fairly large tree. I think I would rather call it a yurt, because I really like saying the word yurt.
Yurt.
It is a grass
You know-
yurt.
Yurt.
I lived in a yurt for 4 weeks.
Jesus, dude. You can't just admit that to people.
Wasn't really.
Mitchell is a
My
Mongolian
parents sent
confirmed.
me to summer camp, man. They kept
Ugh.
us in the yurts.
Those poor yurts.
No.
So you guys are maybe 200. The tracks seem to be leading in that direction. Owen.
Did I space out when you said how big it was?
Yeah, I said it was
40, 50 feet in diameter.
not incredibly large. Though, I mean, for what it is, it's a yurt.
Does it
Is
look
there
like
like
there might
a-
be more yurts, like yurt 2 and yurt 3 behind it somewhere?
You
or
don't see
just the
any
one?
now.
Oh, they better camouflage the fuckers.
Are they like? Is there like a light that can be seen, or?
You don't see any light now.
Does this yurt look abandoned?
It doesn't look in disrepair. It doesn't look damaged. You can't see, obviously, any windows or anything, but you also don't see a doorway. It's presumably in a different direction.
Let's go see if we can find the front of this. I don't know how to say that word in my accent.
You know, I also don't know how to say that word in my accent.
Which word? Yurt?
Because I have to tap the R.
Hold on, give me. But you have to tap the T right after, because that's how T's work.
Yeah, that's a weird one, man.
Another fun
York.
one to try is try
York.
saying wasps in Scottish.
Wasps.
The SPS cannot be accented.
It's like bored.
Yeah, but you could always just call it a hut because it is a grass hut. I just wanted to describe it as a yurt because I, Ven, the human being, think that those are that is an underrepresented word in today's English language. You know, just
is
like
a yurt.
sconce and portcullis.
Oh, sconce is a good one.
A good
Sconce
D&D
is-
word. So is portcullis.
Oh my god.
Wisconsin
This is-
really one.
This is what we've devolved to.
Evolve to, Alex.
Okay, sure.
So you arrive at this outside of this grass hut. You're maybe 100, 150 feet away.
Owen kind of he gets everyone's attention and he says quietly, "We don't want to surprise them, but they don't know we're coming, so be ready."
You do?
I'll take point.
I'm right next
Well-
to you.
You're not gonna surprise them, that's for sure.
Nope.
I mean, I'm just fucking strolling up to the front.
Right?
Yep.
Nothing fancy.
As always, Owen has his shield out, but not his sword.
You begin strolling and you start... Are you circling around left or right? You cannot see the entrance from the direction you came.
Left.
That is a good choice, because as you start to circle around, you see a small opening. About enough to fit one person through comfortably. With a bit of a duck. Like, you'd have to kind of... It's maybe 5.5 feet tall. So,
With throwing caution to the wind, I'll stick my head in.
What?
you head in, you
Evian.
see, oh shit! And like, you see a guy just like, he was sitting there, he just draws a crossbow and points it at you.
No need, no need to shoot. Are you by chance one of the? I'm not sure what to call you.
Persuasion check, disadvantage.
Easy, bro.
He like immediately just
Oh.
like, shit! Hands in the air!
My
I'm
hands
just
are
gonna,
outside, but I assure you they are in the air.
Get,
Like, shove Evian aside and be like, I'm sorry
I'm
about my
not
friend
even-
Shit,
here.
at this point, he gets spooked. He's taking a shot.
Can I use a reaction
Cool.
to catch it?
It's at Rob.
Oh, you bitch. Rom, you fucking idiot.
15 hit.
Why isn't my...
Wasn't the entrance only big enough for one person?
She said she shoved you and started walking in.
Did I let her do that?
I mean,
why
you
why
couldn't see it
isn't
coming.
my...
Okay.
Okay, my AC on my sheet is not reflecting my
should
breastplate,
be
but
what? 14 plus
50
dex?
I think 15 is my AC though.
You have 14 plus dex, so yeah, 15. Okay. So that does hit.
You
Alright, that
fucking idiot.
is light crossbow. That's a D8 plus 1. Oh my god! As he and it like hits you right in the stomach and just pierces in. He immediately like leans down and starts like trying to load another bolt in.
Hold on a sec. Let me
no,
find. Let me
Don't
find.
you dare fucking incinerate this man. I
I'm
swear to
not.
God.
I'm finding an expletive.
Finding an expletive.
You have a Google Doc full of them, or? Because
I have a page.
She probably has like 800 pages bookmarked. Holy shit, Rob!
I'm
You
gonna
got hit like a
fucking
fucking
shove Rom back
truck.
out of the way because she's a dumbass.
Well, I'm not gonna stop talking.
You got a bolt in your fucking gut, and you're just gonna.
Owen,
you're gonna-
what you see from outside is Rob kind of shoves forward, probably like stumbles back a foot as she gets hit. The bolt is now sticking out of her back between two of her ribs.
Oh, son
the-
of a goddamn bitch! We are not here to mess with you. All right? We are looking for some people to peacefully. You understand? Fuck.
At this point, Owen, you hear from above you, "It's enough, hands in the air, drop your weapons!"
I don't have any weapons.
This is to
What
Owen and Lilianna. You see
None of us have weapons in our hands.
they see you fucking armored and walking up.
What if
Lily
my
is
hands are my weapons?
unhanded.
You see about-
Owen has not drawn a sword.
25 feet right above the canopy. Two people holding crossbows pointed at you.
Owen kind of covers Lily's, or no, it would be he covers Jesus, names are hard. Rom and Evian's like backs with the shield.
Evian's inside the yurt.
Then he covers Rom's back with the shield, and he says, he calls out. He says, "Don't shoot. We come in peace."
Avian, what the fuck is your dad's fucking goddamn
up my backstory. Give me a second.
you son of a
This
bitch.
fucker forgot his dad's name.
Keegan.
D-
I do not know how to say that in accent.
We are looking for Keegan, okay? I'm just like clutching at this fucking bolt in me.
You see the guy just kind of look confused. He has now at this point fish, loading another bolt, is like holding it at you. Oh. Oh. Speak, woman.
What are
The
those-
boss! We're looking for your fucking boss!
Give me a intimidation check.
I mean,
You're not trying. It doesn't sound like you're being nice right now.
I'm
She's-
not! I got fucking shot!
She's also screaming at these men
Yeah.
with a bolt through her.
Yeah, that's.
Don't worry, I'll get him fired.
Who are you?
I'm his fucking son.
Not-
Put your fucking crossbow down.
Not you. Who?
Oh my lord.
Fucking shit. He like kind of just kind of like readjusted at this point, like standing completely up, his back against the opposite wall.
Can I move to shield Rom's front?
Yeah, you kind of move in front of her, get in here,
Yeah.
like motioning for you both, like using his crossbow to kind of motion you to get a bit closer.
I'm not getting inside until you put that fucking crossbow down.
I would certainly not like to be shot again.
Well, I don't want to, but... How many more of you are there?
2.
4 total.
Mm-hmm. I do have, like, fucking... Well, I guess I don't know about that. Never mind.
Those of you who are outside see as a rope ladder gets thrown down, and you see one person begin climbing down. The other one says, "Alright, don't move or I'll shoot. I'll loose this bolt right into you. Don't do it."
There's no need for violence.
As the other guy's quickly climbing down this rope ladder. He gets down. He now has the crossbow pointed at you. The other guy starts climbing down. They quickly look around. You can see him quickly just like scanning, like fuck. Then they both kind of look at each other. All right, get in the hut.
Just before we do that, does this look like a yurt? I imagine can be, it's like a tent basically, right? So I could chop my way out of it if I needed to.
Yeah, it's not incredibly well reinforced. It seems like you could probably, if you wanted to, like body check it down.
Then sure. Owen will step inside.
You all get in. It is simple. You can see there are racks of crossbow bolts, racks of crossbows. There's probably 12 total. There are currently 3 missing. There are a few dummies in here, just like lazy target practice. They are busted up, but do not currently have any bolts in them. Other than that, there's a few bedrolls. Under them is piles of straw, a couple of tables, and what looks like curing or drying meat on a small rack. In the other side, there's no corner in a circular hut. Alright, who are you people? The larger man who came down from the top. How'd you get here? What are you doing?
Owen is currently ignoring these people and is seeing to Rom.
I'll
Thank
talk.
you.
It's fine. I've got.
I can try to talk too.
No, it's okay.
Give
You're
him,
injured.
give him
It's
a
fine.
fucking description of your dad. Maybe he doesn't go by that name here.
We are looking for the what does he look like? I describe him because I don't think I have a written description.
Think they're notes.
The man in the ornate half-plate armor with the...
You guys stole that.
We
Oh,
did?
am I? Where?
I thought...
Oh
no,
yeah,
I thought,
no.
I thought we
would've-
didn't.
I
We
thought we
specifically
would've
didn't
been-
because if we were
Yeah,
found with
because it
Son's
was
chosen.
yeah.
Son's chosen armor, we were gonna get
Oh,
shot. or
I don't
something.
remember if you guys actually... I know you took the weapon.
Yes, we took all of the weapons.
The dual stage crossbow. But yeah, okay. Anyway, you finished the description that Owen actually wrote down.
I mean, that was just off the top of my head. I didn't write that down.
Oh. Good job, Nick.
I listen.
Evian, give me a persuasion check.
Shit, man. Hey.
You mean Clem?
Sure.
That's the name he's going by. Yes. We have some information that you're going to want to know about people who might come looking for y'all.
One more persuasion check.
Can Owen, while this is happening, make it so there's not a crossbow bolt in my friend?
They kind of like hold up and point to you if you try and move toward.
Oh, for fuck's sake, she's going to bleed out.
Fine. Keep the sword in the sheath though. Don't yeah.
Owen looks down at his hand that has not touched his sword, back to the sword, and then just gives the guy like a really annoyed
That are you
look.
fucking kidding me look.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you telling us this? Why do you want to warn us? Okay.
Did you not hear me?
This
fucking...
This guy here is his son. And believe it or not, seeing a bunch of y'all get killed or sent off to the Red Band is not something that we want.
You see him like look at the other guy and just... This isn't... What's about that?
Just grab him, say his son is here, and he'll know exactly what you're talking about.
It's 3 hours to get to it.
3 fucking... Are you fucking...
We'll go in the morning.
No time.
No,
Go
we
now.
need to go now. I don't think you, understand that if we wait till morning, there's a decent chance you will not wake up. There is a decent chance none of us will wake up.
It's quite possible that there is a Soul Strider on our tail right now.
As you say the word like Soul Strider, they get that oh shit look.
With backup.
And to be clear, he's not after us, he's after you, and we're coming to make sure that he don't find you.
Fuck.
So we best be quick about it. And Owen's like saying this as he's like
As he's trying
wrapping
to, like,
Rom
fucking-
with bandages.
Are you gonna
Oh, and
take
I would like
the
you
fucking...
to also give me a persuasion check.
Are you gonna take the fucking bolt out of me?
Yes. Hold on, I'm getting to that.
Does he get advantage because he mentioned the Soul Strider?
No, it's
I
affecting
was the one who
DC.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's affecting the DC. All of
nice.
this is. Fuck. Let's just take him. They kind of turn to the guy who was sitting here kind of lazily. Keep your fucking eyes peeled. If you see anything, you run to the fucking world. The other two. Alright. The larger guy turns to the other one. Back up with that fucking... And the
You
larger
guys
man
definitely
again.
want to keep a better watch. We literally waltzed in here with this man in full plate, and we weren't noticed until we came into the hut.
I mean, we would...
What I would give for a set of full plate Evian.
Or whatever the fuck you have.
It's chainmail. This...
You think I
You
know
seem
the
foreign,
fucking
honestly.
difference?
You sound foreign. Look...
I do? That's
not
questionable.
you, him, a motion seat. Probably doesn't know it chain. Rolls his eyes. Whatever. Look. We want not paying attention.
Right, doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
get
it
to
doesn't
move on.
matter. Let's fucking go. And you see him just like grab a what looks like just a rucksack style leather sack with a drawstring, and looks like there is a bottom, but it's pretty beaten up. He throws a couple of quick things in it and just throws it over his shoulder, ties it onto a epaulette on his armor, and then you see him grab at the bottom, tie it onto a buckle on his belt. One. As he like starts, is she going to be alright?
Like, so while they were interrogating us, then could Owen have healed Rom without them seeing?
3 people very paranoidly watching you.
Yeah, all right. And Owen doesn't care, so he's still gonna like bandage her up, but he will also as he's kind of wrapping the bandages around you, Rom, Owen puts his right hand over the wound and kind of grips the crossbow bolt with his left, and he begins murmuring in Garish, and he will cast this spell.
As you do that, you see as the...
Oh, just enough.
It is like she was never pierced with a bolt. outside of the blood covering her clothing on the stomach, and a little bit on the back.
And he kind of,
Shit, fucking me.
Thank
As-
you,
He,
Owen.
he like looks at the others. We could fucking died.
as he pulls the bolt out, he looks at the man who fired it, and he kind of, just with disdain, just tosses it at his feet.
He very quickly picks it up and starts wiping it down.
Rom just like rubs at the place where the wound is and is just grumbling like, "Oh, next man who puts a bolt in me had better fucking give his heart to Aachen because his ass is mine." And so on and so forth.
So, you guys are following this man?
Is it only one guy who's leading us?
Yes, the other two are staying. He told one of them to get back up in the tree and the other one to keep his fucking eyes out. So the larger man, he kind of like, he's got like a kind of a Friar Tuck type of look going on. Though without the height, he's maybe like 5'9", 5'10", about average height, maybe a bit above, but kind of like a rough, dirty bowl cut. Looks like he's seen some battle, maybe third.
Do we want to warn these people about... Do we think
I was gonna-
that Team Yes, Team Beta is going to follow us?
Yeah, Lilianna was gonna try
they
to like
probably will.
ask Owen and even if they should forewarn them about keeping it like not let Team Yes in. Should we tell them about Walker and the others?
It's probably best.
Liliana will turn to the ones who are remaining and listen, there's others of our party who didn't agree with us handling the situation the way we are. If 4 gentlemen, well, one of them being a dwarf, the other a very haggard, unkempt looking man, older, kind of around my age, but Walker looks older, and then 2
Crossbow.
younger.
Carries a crossbow.
The larger man's like,
Yes.
you hear him kind of whispering, she doesn't look that old.
That's not the point.
Just
Listen up.
be wary of them.
Right.
They
Three people
didn't
and a
agree with us
dwarf.
coming to warn you. Yes.
Guy turns to
Don't-
the other two. 3 people and a
don't
dwarf,
attack
one of them's a
him.
soul strider. Be careful.
No, the
No,
Soul
no.
Strider is a different man.
Oh, shit! Okay, 3 people and a dwarf that might kill you, and a fucking soul strider. Keep your
There
fucking
you
eyes
go.
out.
Don't attack them because they are.
At this point, you
not
can see him
people
like
to
getting
not be
stressed
trafficked
out.
with.
Like, each time you give information, he's like, trying to figure out the best way to
Basically, if you see them, fucking run.
run.
Yep.
You heard it.
Yeah.
They're powerful mages, all of them.
Yep. Very.
Yes.
Good.
Very powerful.
Good enough.
Close enough.
A very tired mage.
He kind of like uses. Aren't they all tired? Don't they like not sleep because they have to read books?
Exactly. The man doesn't sleep. It's uncanny.
Right. But fucking whatever. Let's.
Yeah,
Turns back to him
let's-
again. He gives him like the fucking pay attention. Roars out. Let's go. And he begins leading you guys away from the forward warning hut and heading the direction of the main compound of the Scions of Isotal.
Oh man, for their sake, I hope they run into this exact little fucking place. So they just see like 10 people fucking scatter immediately.
Those 2 guys will just fucking, they're gonna show up and just boom! Fucking Speedy Gonzalez out of that shit.
They'll be the Looney Tunes silhouettes.
Yeah,
Not so
well, a lot
fast.
of them would just hide up in a tree, probably.
That's not gonna help him.
I mean, as long as you guys didn't roll a high enough perception to notice.
I mean, I guess not, but
Because we don't
Yeah,
have
but I mean-
Walker.
Yeah, Walker will.
Walker will see him a mile away.
Right, so, you guys are guided for... It is... late at night now. It is... I actually am getting constitution saves from all you guys for continuing this.
oh boy.
I can't believe that fucking crossbow rolled a 9.
Son of a biscuit.
As Alex is going to hastily add son of a biscuit to her,
I
her
mean, it
repertoire.
already was in there.
Owen? Owen, Lilianna,
I
Rom, Evian.
He said BRB.
Well, while we wait for that... I guess we're not waiting, but, alright, that is... Lilianna, you have a level of exhaustion. As this long day of trek is really getting to you. Get into the... It's like 8, 9 o'clock. You've been on the road for well, you've been traveling for well over 12 hours now. You follow this guy, and he keeps, like, looking back at you, like, still not sure what to make. And after maybe 10, 15 minutes, he kind of... So, you're all powerful mages who pissed off a Soul Strider, is that it?
No.
No.
Oh.
You're all hiding in the woods. Being fucking bandits pissing off Soul Striders.
We're
just here.
defending ourselves.
Yeah, sure you were. I
From
don't
you?
care what you think. All I'm saying is that the Soul Strider is after the Scions, not the 4 of us. And we're here because out of the goodness of our hearts, we don't want to see you all put to the blade,
Oh,
or
shit.
worse.
You know why the Soul Strider's after us?
Because you're causing
Oh,
terror
oh
on
my-
the roads?
Owen just like
Because
looks
you're-
at Lily and Rom, just like, is this guy fucking serious?
But why a
Because
Soul
you're-
Strider? Why not the Antelio or something?
Do you know what you are?
We don't know.
Hey, we're
Maybe it's
people who
because
give a
you're
shit
making
about
it-
this country and want to see better of Lenore.
In their eyes, you're a rebel. A traitor. That's what they think.
Proud to be. Soul Strider, they have a war to fight. A war to
shrugs.
fight. Why would they send something so strong at us now?
Maybe to just nip you in the bud real fast.
I think he said something about how he wasn't into the war or something. As in, like, he didn't want to be down there.
He
I
kind of
don't-
puzzles that for a second as you say it.
Isn't that right? Am I remembering correctly?
No,
I'm
he
a-
said that. That's what he
tired.
said.
Mages are a strange kind. Not to offend any of you, of course.
You're not wrong.
And unless there was anything else, he guides you through the forest. It begins to wind and start to grow up hills. You pass many small streams and rivers that terminate into a few lakes hidden up here. Beautiful freshwater, clean, clear as day. You just... well, they would be, if you could see them. And finally you get... you can see there's this large mountain that kind of you're moving towards. You start to circle around it, around the north side. As you get around it, you see this large stone wall. You see a decently sized river. For how far back it is, probably the largest you hear. And maybe 15, 20 feet in diameter. You cross a small bridge, and you now see resting over the side of it. What looks like a large wall with using the river as a moat. There are 2 bridges you can see, both of them raised. There is no immediate way into it. You can see a few very dimly lit. This would just be Owen and Evian. A few dimly lit lanterns or torches that are hooded and being kept very low on the light atop the walls of this compound that you would now believe is the home of the Scions of Izot.
When you say it's a wall...
It's about 15 feet high. It is made of cobblestone. It is like quality stonework, not unlike a castle.
But is it like a wall that like goes between the walls of a valley to kind of create some natural barriers, or is this only one side of a fortress?
It is fortress style. The wall is like about half of it, and then the back half is using the mountain as natural protection. You see no evidence outside of a few what look like archery targets similar to the ones from before, things like that. There's no evidence of anything outside of these walls.
He is leading us towards this place, right? As we approach, Owen will kind of clear his throat and he'll say, "You've got the castle and you've managed to stay hidden this whole time?"
You go around a mountain to get to it, didn't you?
Aye, but I mean, it takes a lot of effort, resources to build a castle.
Aye, but not to reappropriate one. Castle. Now not good. It's been standing since before Lenore was one country.
Isn't that dangerous? Wouldn't people know of its existence?
He kind of shrugs. Not no more, I guess.
People have a strange way of forgetting about things like this.
Why would it matter? It is many hours from Moskin. It is many hours from anything. There may have been a village here 1,000 years ago. Kind of shrugs. Just an old castle. Be reappropriated. Is with the dedication of a better cause.
How many of you are there to inhabit an entire castle?
There are well over 500.
Oh, wow.
Think. Never counted. And he gets to the edge and he gives this loud, just quick whistle. You see 2 people look and very confused. We need Clem. Send him out. Is it important?
Yes.
Extremely.
Oh, those are
Someone who you better listen to.
Give me an intimidation check.
Rob is so salty right now. I love it.
Oh.
She did get shot.
I know.
Oh yeah, what she said. Someone to listen to. Are you under duress right now? I mean, a little, but no more than average. Being, against the older. I said duress, not stress. Oh, no, they're helping. You can feel the sigh in the air.
It's Owen's.
I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm.
You get the feeling there's a reason this guy is out there doing, like...
It's got the grunt work.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we gotta send somebody to the scout post. Fuck, who do we send? Jimmy, he's, yeah, let's send him.
About 3 minutes of quiet go by, and then you hear the sounds of chains. You hear the and you start seeing the drawbridge begin to lower. And it very quietly, with surprising dexterity, it doesn't really slam. It's like they did a very good job making sure that that thing did not hit hard on the other side. And you see on the other side 30 people armed with mostly longbows, pointed. And then you see a man in a large cloak. You can see blatantly wearing armor under it. That Evian you recognize as your father start to walk out holding his hand up. We're not going to fire on you till we find out exactly what happened. Who are... Evian.
Yeah,
Hold
don't
your
get too
arrows, lower
excited.
your weapons. He just... The smile grows you. Hey, Evian.
Don't get too excited. I'm not here to join you. I'm here to give you a warning.
What did you even...
He's pretty decent at tracking. Pointing at Owen.
Owen gives
Um,
Evian's dad a real big smile.
What? What?
Long story short.
Come inside. It's the...
Okay.
And you can see people very confused. Like, there are lots of people. Most of them look half asleep. Like, they were all either getting ready for bed, had just went to bed. As you are guided into a large courtyard. There are just scatterings of buildings throughout this courtyard. You can see there, immediately just to the right of the entryway that you follow, there is a small stable with about 12 horses. You are guided to a small 2-room home built of wood, very quickly built. Again, Evian, you are also fairly adept at the concept of carpentry, and you can tell this is not well made.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of a thrown together. Sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Get the feeling there's probably a lot of that in here. You're immediately guided in, and you just start. I don't need 1,000 prying eyes on you. What happened? Why are you here? Warning?
We were traveling with a group of 8, as I'm sure you remember.
I do not see 8.
And we were, not are. And we happened to run into a soul stride.
And you live to tell the tale, even.
We didn't fight him. More, he asked for a favor in return for writs for some of our companions. And that favor
He gets
was...
this ocean.
And that favor was giving him the location of you and your group. And we came to a disagreement about it. Us 4 thought that was something we did not want. So we left a few hours in advance to give you a warning.
What does a Soul Strider want?
I think he wants to arrest you, and most likely, once they find out who you are, you will be killed.
We don't know for sure. He wouldn't
Even
say.
a Soul Strider could not take on all of us.
He probably has back.
Our conversation with the man was not very long or detailed.
Can't let the teachings of his order die here. What are we to do?
You can always move them somewhere else.
Where? Do you know how long it... This is
Quite a while,
so far
I'm
out
sure.
of the way. This is so...
You might not
Sick.
have a choice. If we could find you so easily, there's a better tracker who's intent on coming here and doing the deed.
Fuck.
Surely you didn't expect to go unnoticed forever.
No, but... with... Why do you think we may have moved during the war? They're too busy. They can't dedicate the resources of an entire brigade. They can't dedicate the Sun's Chosen to this. The Red Band would never want to do this. They would never want to sick them on this. But a fucking... social... Hey. What does he... Why would he...
Well-
to be dealing with the war?
We're not saying what, if anything, you have to do with this information. We are just bringing it to you as a warning.
Could help us. Obvious. Isn't that worth something?
One man won't make much of a difference, and I have places I need to be.
A man built all of this up. One man can make all the difference. Tell yourself sure.
I, for one, do not want to risk throwing my life away defending a castle. If this Soul Strider finds you, and I think he will, and brings backup,
What about... Can't we convince your allies? Can't we convince them not to? Can't you bring them here and say... If we could pay them... We could pay them off.
How much have you got? Because we tried. We tried everything we could to get them to not come. They were having none of it.
the one
Seems-
thing a majority of them are after is something you can't provide.
It
What is that?
seems that the promise of being able to legally use their power in Lenore was a prize too valuable to pass up. Owen, like,
Ages. He looks to Evian. You?
No. Pretty much everyone else, though.
How it felt sometimes when the Sun's Chosen. If the fear is... Why? How did this come about? How do you run afoul of a Soul Strider and he offers you anything you want just to... What happened?
It was an accident. But I suppose it was bound to happen sooner or later. Well, that was the second one, actually.
You mean... What was an accident?
that he found us.
Oh. Why?
Because we were careless. Some of the things that we carry. I suppose they,
You
in
okay?
hindsight, attract attention from
Very
such as
arcade
he.
items.
Aye. Funnily enough, it's mostly the people in the other half of the group who have them.
He just kind of shakes his head. You can see, like, right now his entire worldview is kind of getting shattered. You carry arcane artifacts with you. Must have known. just be a matter of time here. Till you caught the wrong attention. But
In hindsight, that does seem
how does that
very
lead back to the
obvious.
Scions? Does that lead back to us?
Well, it was a poor lie.
Aye.
On the spot that someone came up with.
It was me. It's my fault.
Was it you? I thought it was Mari.
No, it was me.
Ah,
What?
I thought perhaps. Well, I was trying to get him off our scent. And I thought he would know of you. And I thought if I mentioned it, he wouldn't think twice about it. And instead of that, he asked us to come find you for him.
That was what he said that he was here to do anyway, though. I'm pretty sure.
You can
I
see,
thought-
like, wheels turning in his head.
I thought by coming here and warning you that I could make amends for what I've done. I'm sorry.
Doesn't respond, still just One moment, he gets up from the table you're all sitting at. Runs to the door, opens it. You see like 7 people draw weapons immediately. Stop being so fucking stupid. Go get Nestor now. I don't care if he's asleep. Go get him. Wake him up. This is important. I don't think it. That's so stressing.
how do you mean?
A week or 2 ago. Maybe 3. 2 people came. They came across. They found it. And they kept asking us questions. Questions that weird, strange. Are we magical? We've never mentioned magic as anything. Do we employ mages in this? It was so strange. We thought we were just kids, maybe 18. We thought maybe they were just trying to romanticize this movement. One night, one of them was out on guard duty. I assume you know where now. And left. Able to catch up to him. Know what happened? But I think now we can get some answers. I don't think Pope, that this Soul Strider doesn't care about us. We're too small. What we're doing is too small for them to waste the time and resources of many weeks of a Soul Strider. But we have artifact. Powerful. He just kind of looks down. Like he's just admitted to like some horrible sin.
You think that's what he's after?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's after, probably.
And you let those 2 new guys know about that?
No, but They were asking. No one has a reason. They knew just too much. No, when people join, they do it out of this want to make a better country. They don't do it because they don't do it because they want to romanticize some war or something. They don't do it because they care about magic. They kept asking weird questions. Again, we thought they were kids, just trying to romanticize this whole thing, trying to find some deeper meaning in it. But what if he sent them here to find out about it? Confirm it and...
But,
He didn't come. That I can't answer. Why wouldn't the Soul Strider arrive then? If he knew we had something, if he had someone arrive, he had someone meet with him. Why still here? Waiting you.
How long ago was it?
2 or 3 weeks. They arrived about 3 weeks ago. Second patrol, I think. One of them headed out, the other one... The one's still...
Well, sounds like maybe that's someone we ought to be talking to.
He just nods. What I was getting to. A moment later, you see this man about 5'7", 5'8". I have a thinning gray hair, kind of windswept, very unkempt. He comes across as the kind of person who, even with a bedhead, this is bad for that. But dude doesn't care about his appearance. And he turns and just kind of like, he doesn't bow his head or anything, he just kind of like, Esther, this is Esther, this is my son, and help us. Oh, you have a son, name? I do. Interesting. But, evening. Those two who arrived, they... What was that boy's name? Cameron? We need to... These four, they need to talk to him. This may have to do with the Soul Strider coming in. Go. Deal with it. Deal with it. Get rid of it. He just walks back out. Not ever sitting down, just kind of standing in the doorway for that whole exchange. Right, Evian. He looks to the rest. I'm sorry, your names?
Owen.
Rum.
Lilianna.
Beautiful name. Wait. Come with me. He quickly stands up, like, pushes past a few people. They are still a bit on edge as you walk through, and you are guided through. There's a small patch of farmland on the other side you can see. Probably just enough to feed them, but not very well. And you head a little bit further, and you get in through a large raised portcullis into the castle. You note that part of this castle is built into the mountain. This is very old. You can see where the walls have been repaired, hundreds of years apart. Just this initial castle has been here long, many hundreds of years. You're guided through the main chamber, or taken left turn, another right, down a flight of stairs, and circled back until you come to what you can only imagine is a repurposed jail. Which is to say, at one point it was a jail, they got rid of it, and now they've had to make it a jail again. Kind of moves over to it, and you can see there's just hay scattered all over the floor. Some of it in the cell, some of it out. See a young man about dirty blonde, kind of unorganized hair. He's a bit on the malnourished side. Dirty. Clothes, while not tattered, have obviously not been cleaned in a while. Currently sleeping, and he quickly just... You see as Evian, your father, draws a dagger and just uses the back of it, the handle, and just kind of slams on the bars a couple times. Boy, you have visitors. You're going to tell them truth. Truth you wouldn't tell me. What they do with you is beyond Scion. He kind of like nods and walks out.
Do we know the Soul Striders? Yeah, we know this name.
Serious.
Yeah.
Big kind of like... He
I
looks
probably
very
shouldn't be the
fucking
one to
scared
know.
right now.
Rom, I'll let you do the talking. You're scarier than I am.
You heard what the man said. You're gonna tell us everything you know about a soul strider named,
I
Tirius Lokar.
don't... He like looks out the barred window behind you, past the to the night sky. I don't. What do you mean?
May I insight check that?
Go ahead.
Like what? Yeah, when I said the name, was there like a recognition?
Fuck.
It looks like he's scared enough to piss his pants, but you can't really read whether or not he's lying. Like, the fear seems like it's overriding any serious emotions he's trying to project or hide.
why
Did you-
did you come here?
Owen did change the world. I heard they were doing that.
Who did you come here with?
My best friend Jeffrey.
Why did he come here?
Same thing. We both heard about it. We didn't have shit going on. We were just gonna end up in the Red Band or something.
And where did you hear about it from?
A lot of people have been talking about it lately. You know. Kind of shrugs. Ever since the war started, the Scions have been... Kind of looks down. They've been a thing to talk about.
Did your friend Jeffrey ever act strange or secretive?
No, he just... He heard that the Scions, these was like big strong mages with all this power. They were gonna change the world, and we needed to be part of it, or we'd die fighting against it. I don't know. I thought he always seemed to know what he was talking about. Why wouldn't I trust him?
Your friend, where did he go?
He told me he left and ran away, and they were worried, and they haven't trusted me since I've been here. I don't know where he went.
Why were you asking those questions about magic?
Because he told me it was really cool and thing.
That's not like a regular thing that you hear about the Scions, right?
Oh no, like they are not at all associated with magic. So you heard these was strong mages and stuff. They made powerful. That's how they would go in.
Who told him that? That's not something you usually hear about
No,
them.
it's not. I thought it was cool, and I didn't want to die in the Red Band fighting the war. I didn't want to fight. I don't know. You started talking about a month or two ago. And we spent a bunch of time asking around people, and eventually we ran across a couple of them when we were on the road, and told me we wanted to join them.
Where?
Where did we
What
run
road?
across them?
I.
Moving out of coal about. I don't know. It was we moved out of coal, and we were taking a shitty road towards Moskin. Oh, that's where we did most of. That's where I'm from. I'm from Moskin. I'm not. Don't kill me, please. Please.
You're not. We're not gonna kill you. It doesn't sound like you had any malicious intentions. All right. Don't
Yeah,
have to
I
be
just-
afraid. We're just trying to keep everyone here from getting killed.
You
understand?
What?
Or sent off to the Red Band.
It's the same thing. End up dead in there.
Can we describe the Sarius dude and ask him if he's ever seen him?
No, I've never seen no man like that.
Rom kind of glances around at the group for like ideas. I don't know how much information we're gonna get out of this kid. Doesn't seem like he knew anything about it to me.
I think he was in the wrong place at the wrong.
Doesn't hurt to be thorough.
Look, I guess I don't. Look, maybe you're right. Maybe Jeffrey. Maybe Jeff just came across a. Maybe he met this guy, this serious guy. Maybe he met him. I don't know. I didn't. That's all.
Owen leans in towards Rom, and he whispers, "Keep him talking." And then he steps to the back of the group and begins ritual casting Detect Magic.
So you're from Moskin, right?
Yeah.
Your family's from there?
Orphan more than anything.
I see. Well, I guess that would be something to be worried about, getting sent to the Red Band. I'll just, like, start making small talk, like, just in general, like, what was your life there like?
Do you have any family?
Give me a persuasion.
Well, he
check.
just,
he was an
he just said he was
Yeah.
an orphan.
Oh,
Nicole!
I missed that part.
So what's your mom like? Oh wait.
talk about just kind of talk about where did he meet his friend? How long have they known each other? That sort of thing.
We
God
was
damn
both
it.
in the orphanage together. There. Anyway, persuasion check. Yeah, 11. He's a bit calmer. He's still on edge. Like he still seems kind of convinced you're gonna try and kill him, or he's gonna die one way or another.
Well, we're all gonna die
and,
eventually.
Oh, and you are casting Detect Magic?
Yes.
There is... You detect a very, very faint something that is affecting it.
What does that mean?
That's all you
Wait,
can get with Detect
It's
Magic.
affecting him?
Yes, is coming from the
Well,
boy.
unless we have someone who can cast Identify, I don't know if we can figure out what it is.
Is
It's
it
not
like,
an exact thing.
when you say it's coming from him, is it like he is magic, or he has magic on him, or...
No, it's coming from him, not his clothing, nothing he's wearing. Is coming from
So-
him.
Like
I
a
can
charm or something?
assume that either he has cast a spell on himself, or someone has cast a spell on him.
Yes, you would know that through the Detect Magic it means that there is something that is affecting him.
So while Rom is waxing poetic to this young lad,
How do you love that phrase?
I do.
It's a
It's
good
one of my favorites.
phrase.
Owen will kind of pull Evian to the back and whisper to him, "There's a magic about him. I don't know whether it's his or someone else's, but it's there."
Is there anything that you can do to figure that out, or is that beyond you?
Owen looks down at this charm. I don't think that's how it works. I am often given the power to see, not to understand. It could mean a lot of things. It could mean that somebody bewitched him to come here, or
Could by
got inside his
chance?
head.
That's what I was going to say. Could one of the Soul Striders by chance changed what he remembers?
I suppose it's possible. I've not heard of magic like that. But I don't pretend to be some kind of expert. And I haven't the power to free him if he's under a spell.
I'm not quite sure what to do. But something tells me that we are not going to glean anything useful from him.
There's one thing I could try, but it might just scare him.
He's already scared shitless anyways, might as well.
It would use a lot of my power.
If you're willing, I think it might be a good idea, but if you think it's excessive...
It's not going to hurt them or nothing, but... It's also not going to... It might not help at all.
Well, I trust your judgment. If you think it's worth doing, might as well.
Owen frowns. Give me a moment.
Take your time.
Alright, what are you doing?
That's a good question.
Owen makes eye contact with Evian and just shakes his head ever so slightly.
Okay.
Look, I just... Come on, there's gotta be... How do I get this alive? What do I have to tell you? What do you want?
You don't have to tell us nothing that ain't true. You don't have to make anything up. And you better not, in fact. Frankly, I don't think that you really seem to know anything about this. So you don't have to worry about it.
he looks so like nervous. He just like, I mean, yeah, that's a serious guy. Of course I know him. He came to me in a dream and told me I had to come here, and I had to
I just sort of raise an eyebrow at my friends, like, he's not telling the truth, right?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, if no one else is gonna incite that, I will.
I mean, Lily, like that's.
I mean,
like,
he's trying to appease you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Didn't she
he's
literally
been saying this whole time that he was like, no, and now he's like, yeah.
I'm just making sure.
She literally just told you to not lie.
I feel really bad about this, but
Mechanics question.
yeah. Owen, after shaking his head, Owen kind of like frowns in thought again, and then he sort of steps to the front of, or like up next to Rom, and he says he kind of, this guy's still sitting, right, or has he stood up?
He's still sitting.
So
like,
Owen
up in
will
the back.
he'll take a knee, and kind of put his hands on the bars, and he'll say, "Lad, we're not going to hurt you. We just want to get to the bottom of this." No. And in Garish, Owen says, "Speak the truth." And as he does so, he extends his right arm and points at the boy. What the? When I tell it to cast a spell, it gives me a little circle that says 15 miles.
That's interesting.
So there you go.
Everybody in a 15-mile radius.
you
Has
also-
to tell the truth.
That's
All
powerful.
of a sudden, there's
Here.
a lot of weird shit coming out of Boston.
There's the manual. All right. I need everyone in the party to make a wisdom save.
Oh, is he casting it on all of us?
It's a 15-foot radius centered on. It's centered on a point he chooses.
If I center it on the boy himself, like, is there enough space to where
It would still get you if you're up against the bars.
Can I just take a step back? I didn't realize before. Like, I've never used the spell
Yeah.
before, so
All right. So he needs to.
the intent was just to tag him with it.
I need to double check something. Question is not truth. Okay, you know whether each creature succeeds. Succeeds.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Straight D20.
God damn it.
That's
Okay.
see that is exactly why I asked that
Yeah.
that question, is because I know how this goes.
Oh, man.
And he just. What? What are you? He like kind of retreats back a bit. What do you want? I'm telling you the truth.
Well, you
Owen.
have told us two completely opposite things, so I think that's a lie.
Listen, I don't think you can tell us anything that we don't already know. So how about you relax and go back to sleep? And we'll leave you alone.
Okay? Or
Just gonna nod at my friends and like make as if to leave.
all right.
Owen will follow suit.
Yep.
We'll all head out. You see, in the hallway outside, you see Evian, your father, once more. What happened? We're in there for quite a while.
I don't think that kid knows anything.
But
if it
well,
was...
There's something wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
While you were making small talk, I opened my eyes. That boy, there's a spell on him.
Fuck.
Whether it's his spell
Do
or
we need to
someone
get
else's.
rid of him? What?
I don't know. All I can see is if there's magic or not what it is.
Fuck.
Do you think it's maybe he's been spelled to hide information or to have forgotten things that he saw or was told?
I don't know.
There's virtually no limit to what it could be.
Especially if it's something related to the Soul Strider.
It's been a quiet kid since he got it. Where do we go from here? This Soul Strider just wants magic items. Do we just get rid of them?
What do you have?
I
Not to cry, but
I don't know exactly. I know they're powerful. I know they're rare. They are not even things of this country. City
Well,
Zotol left. Give us a fighting chance.
if we knew what they were, it might be easier for us to help you decide what would be best.
But the four of us don't have any means of identifying things
I
like
know
that.
that it's powerful things. I don't know a lot about magic. I know they're powerful. You know,
I'm sure given
there's a gem. It heals all sorts of wounds. Keeps people so far from death. So alive.
I'm sure if we were able to investigate these items, we'd be able to figure out a little about them at least, but
I know a thing or two about healing magic, but I know not got a lot of experience with magical things.
Oh, this can bring people back from the brink of death.
Owen doesn't look surprised, I guess, is how I can describe that.
That could be a powerful thing in the wrong hands.
Don't know all. It is kept secretive. It is our most guarded treasure. That I know of it. It's a testament to Nestor's trust in me.
Is he the
The one you saw before. He leads us. In the wake of Isotol's leaving.
no offense, but he kind of seems like a prick.
He is a very curt man, but he is trustworthy, and he was picked by Isotol himself. Isotol left.
Well, no offense, but I think I've had my fair share of curt men for the time being.
He's not a bad.
I didn't say
He
that.
just doesn't care about pleasantry.
My point exactly.
You speak, you say these things, and at this point he kind of motions to Evian. From what little I've seen, he seems similar.
Oh, Evian's alright. He's not the one I'm talking about.
I may be an asshole, but I'm not that kind of asshole.
Couldn't we Look, what if... Could we talk to this Soul Strider? We could make a deal. No, man. No matter how powerful. I mean, not the fucking Red Witch of Avandria. 500 people could stand against him.
But you don't know if he has reinforcements. Could 500
Wait,
people stand against a theoretical 15 Soul Striders?
Or what about what's going to come down on you if you do manage to defeat him?
Something that powerful wouldn't want to die. A man that strong? Look, if we could just talk to him, maybe we could make a deal.
Someone that's strong doesn't have to worry about dying.
What are you going to offer him? You've got no leverage.
He doesn't want to. Even if he got away, even if he gets what he wants, the risk of death, no man wants to die, especially not one that powerful.
And how are you going to threaten his life?
If
We've
he
seen him
comes here-
disappear into thin air.
If he comes here, I'd still have to show his face. So what met you at the gates?
Did you
The
hear
man
what he
can
just said? We saw him
Disappear into thin
disappear.
air at the will. There's not much you can do to counteract that.
Seeing people turn invisible, they still stand there, you still shoot them with it.
And what
Not
if it's not that?
necessarily.
What if he disappears and reappears somewhere else? What if he can get inside your mind?
That is fantasy. There is no way.
It happened to me.
Sort of bad. Possible.
I don't think that you can assume I don't think you can assume anything is impossible when it comes to magic.
Could you not speak to him on our behalf?
Well, that's kind of the point, is I don't want to speak to him.
It saves all of us. It gives the Scions a fighting chance at survival. He's also had a vision. Vision for better people. Vision for a better country. One not ruled by fear, red band, fear of joining it.
I'm sure one of the men who enforces that fear will be very happy to listen.
And what do we do?
That's not up to us. We came here simply to give you a warning.
Look,
There's no way that the four of us can save you. The best we can do is warn you. And then I think the safest thing for us, in case he has some sort of way to track the four of us, is for us to part ways.
He could be watching us right now. We don't know.
why would he? He's watching my...
You're asking us to speculate on the motives of
Powerful
a
mages.
man that we met, what, once for 20 minutes, if that?
More of an answer than I do. And they look to me, so many people here look up to me. I want to be able to tell them something. I don't want to tell them that we're running, abandoning everything we've built up for fear of one man, no matter how powerful.
But that is the thing. It is not just one man. Sure, the Soul Strider is one singular man, but the connections he has, the allies, that is...
Yes, but that takes time, and there's a war going on. How does he
There is a
dedicate
war.
that time?
But he is up here avoiding the war.
Alone.
So,
What does he do?
what makes you think
Drag
that other...
1,000 men from the front line?
Are you willing
We've
to take
run
that
into
chance?
multiple Soul Striders. This is not the first one. There are probably dozens up in the north.
And even if there wasn't, are you willing to take that chance?
Have to take chances. Now more than ever. You have to be willing to risk things. Gave up everything for that. He looks to you as he says that. It broke my heart. Do this. Join us. Help us. Help us keep this dream alive.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you that we are not planning on. We have our own lives to get back to. We have things we need to do, places we need to be.
Our own country to fight for. At least in my case.
Is this not the same? You're still fighting against that same enemy. But here, you're not one man in a line. You're gonna make it a difference.
Owen looks around corners, up, down, back, left, right. Don't see no guards except myself here. Save maybe
few.
one.
There were some. When would we help people in need?
You've got guards here?
Hey. You.
Do you know of any of them?
Kind of shakes his head for a moment. There was some. They come few and far between. I don't know every person off the top of my head. What are you looking for? Someone?
I suppose
Just
he's not.
allies, friends.
He's not a guard, but I'm looking for a boy, much like the boy in that cell. Bit more headstrong.
Young ones are rare. They're not
His name is-
broken by the horrors of this country.
His name is Miles.
Shakes his head a bit. Don't know Miles. Don't think. I could
It's
ask.
worth a try.
And what of your other companion?
Fergus? They said he was headed to Starshore.
Fergus.
Oh fuck's sake! Don't you dare tell me that Fergus is here in this fucking camp.
There was a Fergus.
He's loud. He's a guard.
And he never shuts up about it.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Owen puts his head in his hands.
That I fucking told you. I'm smart as fuck, that's all I'm saying.
Are you going to tell me that we were going to trace all the way up to Starshore, looking for fucking Fergus? Where is he? Where is he?
He's been. He kind of furrows his brow. I couldn't say for sure. I think he joined a party on a run to a Moskin a couple days ago.
Owen starts making frustrated grunting noises.
He makes a
Will
lot
not
of
subject you to over the cover.
he makes a lot of separate money when he can. Likes to spend his coinage on barrels of ale for everyone. Says it helps with morale.
Aye, helps with morale. Fucking. Do you know how many times I've heard that? Oh my! And Owen just starts like ranting about how frustrating living with Fergus is.
Do you know how many times I have heard the story of Alistair McDurk? I assure you it's 1,000 times worse than anything about morale.
1,000 times? You don't think I know?
I think we can decide what to do about this new information after we decide our immediate plans.
Well, to be quite frank, I don't think that is our decision to make.
Well, I don't know about the rest of the people here. I was talking about the four of us. What are we gonna do now?
Most of this castle's quiet. If you want some privacy, I can wait outside in the courtyard.
It's been a long road from Cole. Got here as fast as we could.
If you wish to take the night, that front interrogation home, if you will, has 2 beds. You have bedrolls, though. I'll be waiting if you want to speak here or if you'd rather wait there.
My thanks. Our thanks.
I guess we go.
He guides you back out. Still getting a few weird eyes from people. But for the most part now, it is people who are just going about their nightly duties. And,
now that we are kind of like inside, I think I asked this question when we first encountered these people, but now that we're in the heart of their camp, their castle, do these men, these warriors, do they seem like, hardened veteran soldiers, or?
Give me an insight check, see if you can get a general sense of these people. Damn, you are running it when it counts, huh? No, this seems like regular civilians. Like, you see a few people who carry themselves with the air of being trained, but you also saw that for a bit when you were attacked. It may just be a benefit of having a Sun's Chosen commander to train people, but most of these people seem like farmers, shopkeepers, people who society has failed in some way, especially here, or have been negatively affected.
Are they all, well equipped, or were they like 10 guys with longbows like the cream of the crop?
The ones you see are not... This isn't a war camp by any means. These people are also trying to survive. Most of what you're seeing are just people in regular clothing. Though you didn't observe any sort of, like, major armory or anything. It definitely seems more the former than the latter.
Well, I guess that's something.
We're guided to the interrogation home once more. If you need anything, we'll be waiting outside for a little while. I need to tell some of the people at watch what's going on and make sure they know by morning that we have some visitors. Precious rarity here. Shuts the door behind him as he walks out.
For fuck's sake, what have we gotten ourselves into?
The fucking mess.
A big fucking mess.
And knowing Fergus as I do, he's going to come back here and he's going to say, "Oh, Owen, we've got to help these people. We can't just leave him and go back to Garland." And he's right, and I hate that he's right.
Then we gotta think about...
He'd say, "What would your father say, Owen? What would he say?" And I'm going to be at a loss for words. This is just perfect, it is.
Well, then we gotta think about what we can do, if that's what we're going to do.
Listen, everyone, I'm not going to insult these people and what they're doing. But they're smack in the middle of a hostile country. Trying to secede, build a better life for themselves. 500 against the entirety of Lenore.
It's never going to work.
It might, but I mean, they've already got a Soul Strider after them. And what are we going to do about the others? They're going to be on our trail.
We could try to get more information, I suppose.
From who?
The man himself, I guess. He gave Amara that paper. I don't know if that would do us any good.
Even if... I mean, let's just enter the realm of conjecture. That's a big word. Say he's after the Soul Strider. Say he's after the gem or whatever it is. Do you think that these people are just going to hand over their most prized possession to save themselves? They
Not
seem like
for a
more of the
second.
kind that are going to die to defend it.
Well, we could ask him.
And even if they were willing to give it up, do you think that's going to be enough for such as him?
Well, then what are our other options?
I don't know, Rom.
I don't know either.
Jesus, Alex.
Yeah, Alex,
What?
You clip
The
the
way you
shit out of
breathed into your
every
mic was
time you
really
do that.
loud.
Sorry. I'll move it a little bit.
Anyway,
A gem that could bring someone back from the brink of death.
And that was only one thing. Who knows what else they have?
Who knows what kind of damage it would do of the wrong people.
Or
And
the
who's
kind of
this- Go, you.
or the kind of people it could keep alive, or the kind of person who maybe doesn't want to give up ruling an entire country.
There's one idea I had, but I have no idea if it would even work at all.
Well, we don't have anything else. No other ideas right now, as far as I can gather.
Well, there's two problems. I don't want to say too much because it's not my affair, but we're in this mess in the first place because Henry has friends. Those friends deal in these kind of objects. From what I know of him,
I was there.
I'm explaining to everyone.
Fair enough.
Is this related to back in Tybeck Rest when you all came back from being out all day and you were really pissed off, Owen?
Because somebody is not a professional, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, these friends of his, their purpose, their reason for doing what they do is to keep these kinds of things out of the hands of the crown. So maybe, just maybe, if we could get them into their hands, then there'd be nothing that the Soul Strider would be after here, and he'd move on.
I think you are missing an important detriment.
What, the fact that Henry is coming here to rat them out?
Yeah, exactly that. The fact that Henry would rather have a writ for his magic than keep these people alive.
But they don't know about the items. All they know is that they think these people are bandits and that the Soul Strider has been sent to do away with them. Maybe they'll change their minds.
Do you really think so? That it's that much of a difference to be made?
I think that will cement Walker's opinion more.
Well, fuck Walker. He's not who I care about right now. It's not him who's got the friends who could help us.
And what is the Soul Strider gonna do if he gets here and what he wants isn't here?
Well, that's the other snag is... He might just decide to kill them all out to spite or something. No? I don't know.
Is that something that Soul Striders have been known to do?
Kill out of spite? Give me a history check.
Cool. Fun. My favorite.
I hope it's not too presumptuous of me, then. But I'm basing most of what Owen knows about Soul Striders off of his prior experiences in war with Lenore.
Probably not killing out of spite. They're not like like if they were pissed off, what they would probably do is go up the chain of command to eventually like have this dealt with, like make sure that everyone in Lenore would know, you know, this is where they are. They're gonna be fucked one day, you know. Do it the legal, professional way type of thing.
So killing out of spite, but with extra steps.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah. That's not... They wouldn't... No single person, no Soul Strider would risk their life to fucking genocide on their own.
They're fucked eventually.
Yeah. But obviously, given the war, timetables would be complete speculation in any way. None of you, I believe, are familiar with the inner workings of the Lenorian military or crown, so...
Well, actually... No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean...
I did,
my dad is.
You do have that!
I probably didn't study a lot of politics in school.
But before we continue, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And so, we return. I apologize for the interruption. You may continue your conversation about the inner workings of this decision you have to make. Or not.
So let's think about this for a second. We could let's just go through and just talk about everything, no matter how stupid or whatever that it is, right? And Owen starts holding up fingers. We could just leave. I'm not going to be doing that because there's someone I'm waiting for now. We could try and fight. That also seems quite stupid to me. We could try and make some kind of a deal. That doesn't seem likely to me, but we might avoid bloodshed that way. And like he pauses. And it's just like, anyone else have any ideas about things we could do?
I love it because just like listening to that out of character, it's like, well, one of these doesn't sound absolutely insane.
Well, I
I
mean, that's why.
suppose-
Go ahead.
We could try to convince them to relocate, but I have a feeling that is not going to happen.
I agree that fighting him is a bad idea. He literally made Amari and Henry his new best friends. With easily going up against him in battle, even if we could, who knows what else he can do.
Well, when y'all put it that way, it sounds like trying to make a deal is the most, well, least stupid option.
And then we have to ask ourselves whether we want to try and get the Scions to give up their most... How did he say it, Evian? Their most precious artifact or something like that.
Something along those lines.
So we
And the
either
rarest or something or another.
convince them to give it up to the crown, or we convince them to give it up to people who they don't even probably know exist. And all of that is dependent upon whether Henry is willing to help us, because I don't have any idea about where his friends could be found.
What if we took it? We're already on the run.
They're not going to give it to us. I can tell you that right now. They're not going to give us all of their most prized magical possessions and say, go, be free. That's not going to happen.
Well, I think what we need most of all is more information. We gotta know what the Soul Strider wants. Because if he just wants to kill him, then I don't think there's gonna be any deal.
That seems unlikely at this point. Evian's father brings up some good points. Why now? Why a Soul Strider? If the crown knew where they were, I don't imagine they'd be left to their own devices.
And if the Soul Strider was able to get the artifacts, they would probably be seen as less of a threat. It might be why they haven't done anything else. They just know that there's random powerful magical artifacts here. They don't know what they are, what they do.
That's quite a good point, Lily. What if they're afraid? It could be that they're afraid of what these people can do. Or perhaps they're afraid that, I don't know, maybe they're afraid of the damage they could do.
And it might not be worth their while to risk throwing Red Band or Atelier, or
Antelia.
Atelier, thank you. Atelier at them if they don't know what they're fully capable of. Not when they already have the war with Garland going on. It might be seen as just a waste of resources. Better to maybe sniff out what these artifacts can do, if it's possible to get their hands on them, and then once the war is over, they can take them out then.
That's quite an idea you've stumbled upon there, Lily. So if we assume that's what's going on here, what does that change?
We can't find anything else about these artifacts. We can't learn more about them because we know the Soul Strider can read minds. If we find out more of what they can do, of the powers they do or don't have, then we already know he could just break into our minds and pull the information he wants.
Another good point. But how does it help us with the whole Walker, Henry, Simon Amari situation?
So is it worth it at all then to try and figure out exactly what he wants?
I mean, if we assume that Lily has stumbled upon the correct line of thinking, then we don't need to ask him because we all already know. Or think we know.
Then the only problem is, what are we going to do with that information? We could tell the people here what we think, but that doesn't mean that they're going to change their minds about what they want to do.
we could somehow, it all goes back to the way the other four responded.
How would you, if we were to communicate this with the other four, what exactly would we even say? I'm not sure how to get that across to them.
Well, the goal would be to get them to change their mind. But I don't know if that's something they're going to be willing to do.
Well, we know we can't have all of the science disappear, but what if just most of the top ranking people do with the artifacts? What if they vanish? Like, the Soul Strider obviously knows they're here. He's already sent the 2 kids in here to find out. Rather than having all of them go, why not have them kind of disperse and spread out with artifacts so it's harder to track and find them?
Well, if your first idea is correct, and they're not doing anything about it because they're afraid of what these things can do, then taking that power, that fear away from them won't stop them from slaughtering these people.
That's right. That's what I was thinking.
Well, I don't know what to do about the other 4. I feel like if we told them, especially Walker, he would probably feel more inclined.
And the other question is, if those 2 boys were working for the Soul Strider, then surely he knows where the castle is. So why would he ask us to go and find it?
That's a very good question. I don't know the answer, but
This is all miles above my head.
Maybe we throw caution to the winds and we put our faith in the other 4. Maybe they might know something that we don't.
like what?
I don't know, Ron, but I'm out of ideas.
There's Evian. Do you think there's any way he could have known of your father in your relation?
I don't understand Soul Riders at all. So, I mean, if they can just enter your mind whenever they please and take shit. Maybe. I don't.
I mean, for all we know, he's just playing a game to amuse himself, right? Who knows? Do they do that sort of thing?
I don't know. I fucking showed up in this country 2.5 weeks ago. I don't know shit.
From what heard from the others is these soul striders, they're like... I mean, their authority is absolute, and their power is otherworldly. Imagine having that kind of lifestyle. What wouldn't you do? I mean, not me, but or us. Just in general. Perhaps even your father, if we bring up Lily's idea to him, maybe he'll know something.
It's not a bad idea.
Just feels like we're at a bit of a dead end here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best we have. Never hurts to try it.
Might as well. I guess we're gonna go fetch him then, if he's available to be fetched.
I guess so.
Not the way I would have expected that to be phrased. I suppose he is a dog now?
We don't fetch dogs. Dogs fetch things.
Like, same difference. So you guys head outside looking for Evian's dad?
Yeah.
Clem or whatever.
Oh, Evian knows him as Keegan.
I like
He's,
You see
in
him...
my... Oh, go ahead.
You see him about 30 feet away. He's at the edge of the gate, which is... He's kind of talking to someone outside of the small gatehouse. He kind of turns and gives like a half wave, like less of a, hey, I'm more of a, I'm over here, notice me. Kind of a, as he does, he kind of like says something to the guy he was talking to and starts walking towards you. So, it was a long conversation. See?
Perhaps not long enough.
That is... What has happened? News?
Lily, why don't you tell them about your thought?
So, in the question of why if everybody knows you're here and you have magic artifacts, why you haven't been attacked, it could be they don't know how many artifacts you have, what they can do, how powerful they are, and that's probably why they've been trying to get people in here to find out that information.
And you could... Then we can make a deal with the Soul Strider. Give him something. And we told him that's all. You could be a liaison to it. Tell them that's all we have.
What
Leave
if
us
he doesn't
alone, right?
believe you?
I don't think lying to this man is the best move.
And what if
Agreed.
after, even if we did that, what if...
What about your other friends? What about them? What if we
What
lie
about
to them and they don't know they're lying to him? We tell
Perhaps,
them that we are going to give up everything of value, everything he wants. And that you said, I believe you said that one of your allies can communicate with him. So of course you came out to discuss things and went back to them not wanting to unnecessary bloodshed. Tell them we'll give up all of our magic. They would be acting in good faith. They never need to know.
There's also the matter, though, of what they're going to do to you if they think that there's no magical threats here anymore.
It buys us time.
Aye.
I think buying us time is... It's more than nothing.
It's a better plan than we've been able to come up with otherwise.
Honestly, I imagine it will get us till this war with Garland. They're not going to waste time sending a massive force or an army of Soul Striders or even an entire Antelia brigade to us. Just to deal with Woman Ben. They have their hands full.
And what if our friends... not our friends, what if the others... What if they don't believe us?
Why would they not? We're just trying to survive, and you say it yourself, they don't care what happens. Ian, thank you. Giving us a fight, and even if you don't care. I think this is the best we can.
Don't thank me. Thank them. They did
More
most
for
of it.
you. I would be dead. And this conversation would not be happening. No matter what happens, you and your are valuable to them. Were he here, I would tell your tale to Isildur myself. He returns, I hoped. Stay the night. It is safe here. No worry of anything. Come morning, we can figure out what to do.
Aye, we'd be grateful for a place to stay for the night.
This building's yours. Sleep as well. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Giving us a fighting chance. Back. Yo, the staying. Raise the gate. Start raising the drawbridge. You hear the as they start turning it. Thank you. Evian. Rom. Lilianna. Owen. Thank you all. Thank you so much. I'm happy that, Owen, that you found your friend. Found Fergus. I hope that the reunion is as fruitful as the one myself and my son. He gives a little half-hearted smile like he was making a joke.
Owen smiles as well. I look forward to his return.
He should be back either tomorrow or the next. Thank you again, Evian. You keep good company.
And just nod in response.
He gives another nod back at you and begins to head off the direction of the castle. Says something to a couple people who walk up to him as he's walking away very quickly. You guys head off to bed?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, with something resembling a plan to deal with this errant soul strider in the heartlands of Lenore, with the hope that your allies will listen to reason and your plan, part they can be let in on, with a chance to survive and the idea that new allies exist, new allies, and old friends. You lay your heads to sleep, a bit safer than how you have felt in the past. And we're gonna go ahead and end the session.